Hello my loves, and welcome to a new episode of 5 Minutes with Carla. It's been a while, I know, but I'm back with a bang. This is a really important topic that has been on my heart to talk about for a little while, so I'm super excited to dive in. Today we're going to be talking about toxic bonding. Now, what is that, you may ask? Toxic bonding is basically when you bond or you try and create a connection with someone through a perceived, real, or sometimes even fake negative circumstance or situation. So, what does this look like? This can look like those family members or friends, you know, the ones that only ever want to talk about negative stuff. So they might be complaining about work, they might be complaining about their boyfriend, they might be complaining that there's never enough money, they might be complaining about COVID, they might be complaining about not enough sunshine or too much sunshine. Like these people that always want to focus on the negatives. And often it's born out of our insecurity that we want to be able to relate to these people. So we will sometimes dig deep and find a negative that we can share this experience with, or we can even make up a negative situation to have something to add to the conversation so that we feel accepted, so that we feel part of the conversation, so we feel part of the group. Because this goes like way back to our primal days where we had to be part of a group to survive. So we still have that instinct inside of us, and toxic bonding is just one of the ways that this can show up. Now, another way that this can show up, and this is probably the one that really triggered this topic for me, is women especially. We tend to put ourselves down, especially our looks and our weight, to find a common ground and relate with other women. Now, I remember the very first time I did this, I was probably in late primary school, so probably 10 or 11 years old, and it continued on all through high school, pretty much until I really started going into my self-development and self-love journey. The damage this does on so many levels is insane. It is so detrimental, so toxic, and I still, after all the years of work I've done and self-development work that I've done, I still sometimes butt up against these limitations that started when I was so young. And what triggered this conversation was when my daughter, who has just gone into year 6, the end of last year started complaining about herself. Now, we are a very body positive household. We never put ourselves down. So what 11-year-old thinks that they are not pretty enough, too fat, too this, too that, unless they're hearing it somewhere. And they're not hearing it here. She's not hearing it here. So she's hearing it at school, and I know this because this is what happened to me. Now the problem is, as we know, our words are very powerful, and the more we repeat something, the more we start to believe it. And for years, I truly believed that these things that I just started saying to bond with someone, I eventually, they became true to me. They became my truth because I had repeated it so often, which is a proof of how affirmations and the power of your words work, but I had done it to my detriment. So I want to really stress the importance of using positive language about yourself, about your situations all the time, because when we see these people who only want to talk about negative things, negative experiences, everything that's going wrong in the world, it lowers our vibration down, it pulls it down. And when we engage in that, we are creating an energetic cord between us and them, which means that their energy is able to come to us and ours go to them. So it is lowering your vibration, and our vibration is our currency. It's our most important thing, because our vibration is a point of which we attract everything that we experience in life. So if you don't know, there is a vibrational scale of everything in the world. Everything is vibrating. We can't see it with our eyes, but everything has a vibration and a frequency. And when we lower our vibration, we are attracting lower vibrational experiences. So it is so important to keep our vibration as high as possible. That doesn't mean you're going to have bad days, but it means that we choose to consciously not engage in toxic bonding and toxic talk because we want to keep our vibrations high. So what I would like you to do is, I want you to think back to the very first time you can remember an instance of toxic bonding. Like I said, for me, it was back in primary school. And the other girls were like, oh, I'm so fat, I'm so fat. And I was like, I didn't think I was fat. I was tall, I was beautiful. But that was also a point of being self-conscious for myself. So by me putting myself down, it made other people more comfortable around me, which only made me do it even more. So we need to be really conscious of these things. And I know people who are my age who are still doing this to this day. They are putting themselves down to seem less of a threat, okay? Again, that goes back to our tribal ancestral roots, our cave people roots of not wanting to be seen as a threat, so we weren't hunted down or excommunicated or hurt, okay? So these are things that everybody deals with, but we want to become aware of them so that we can change them. And what we can do is take these toxic traits and these toxic conversations, and we can flip them and use these same things in the opposite to empower us. So I want you to remember the very first instance you can of toxic bonding, and I want you to create an affirmation to the opposite. So mine, when I was little, I would always say, oh, I'm so fat, I can't wear that, I'm so fat. And I was not fat at all. I was like a skinny little twig, really. But I just said it because I wanted to fit in. Okay, so what is the first instance that you can remember where you did something like that? And then the affirmation, which would be the opposite of that, is I'm beautiful and I'm lovable just the way that I am. Okay, because that's truly what I wanted. I wanted to be lovable. I wanted to be accepted. So I can be beautiful and I can be lovable and I can be accepted. All right, we need to change the narrative, and it's so important that we do this and we become aware of this so that we are not passing this toxic trait onto our kids. All right, so that's today's talk about toxic bonding. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do the homework, create an affirmation, and start repeating that to yourself daily in the mirror, because mirror work is super powerful. So create your affirmation in words that ring true to you and start repeating it daily for at least a week or two and see how you feel. You will notice a difference, okay? Be mindful of the language that you are using. Stop engaging in toxic, negative conversations. If it comes up, change the subject. The best way to do this, I find, is to flip it and start asking the other person, how's things going? Like, oh, isn't this an amazing, whatever, song, TV show, have you seen this, whatever. Like, turn it to something neutral. So it's not negative about them or you, and not about anyone else. It's a neutral conversation, okay? You don't have to cut anyone out of your life, but you are being conscious and curating the conversations that you're engaging in, and therefore the energy and the vibration that you're engaging in. So that was a mouthful. That's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, this is the topic for our squad call this month, and we're going to be going much deeper into it. So if you would like to join, DM me. It is less than $1 a day, and it's like a girls' night in where we feed the soul, we laugh, we love, and we learn. So if you're interested, DM me and I'll send you a link. If not, do your homework and let me know what comes up for you. I would love to hear about it. Mwah! Have a great day.